So the next thing we're going to do, aside from drinking coffee out of my Starbucks cup, get this carbon fiber. And basically I need to find a piece that's just big enough to go over the top of this thing. I mean, I don't want to waste it. See, this will come up like that. This will be about that high. Got it nested in the corner. Need a nice pair of So what I'm going to do, just so you know, we're going to pour the epoxy, we're going to mix it up, and then I'm going to put it all over the inside of the fiberglass, or the carbon fiber itself, get it all nice and wet, and then we'll throw it over on the side of it. And you know, I'm probably going to need some sort of box to hang it down, because I want to be able to keep working this thing as it's curing. So let me see if I can find a suitable cardboard box. Alright, I got some sort of object from Amazon, and I think this would be perfect. A little smaller would be nicer, but I think I can get to everything I need to do there and not make a mess. Okay, so we've got that. Let me set this aside. And now we're going to mix some epoxy. So I need a container. I'm going to actually want more than I have. Alright, I got me a small container. I think some olives came in. And let's put in, I think I'm going to do maybe 3 squirts. Assuming there's 1. 2. Gotta pump it up, I think. And 3. Alright, and then on the, that was a hardener. And on this one, we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. I like the West systems. I helped a friend fix a boat. And take a little stir stick you get at Starbucks. You have to mix it really well, because if you don't get it mixed up, it'll never cure on you. If I really mess up this project, my friend Ron, who's the reason I bought the 690 so I can go riding with him, said he bought an aluminum skid plate, and he said I could have his old, or the skid plate that came on it. Okay. I think that's good. Alright, then we're just going to pour it. Pour it all over the carbon fiber cloth. And then we got this little squeegee thing, which you'll need, and that's how you spread it around. You want to get it over evenly distributed on everything. I may need to do 4 squirts, but we'll see how it goes for this first pass. Oops. Put my rubber gloves on. There we go. Alright, you're going to end up with a little bit of extra stuff. I think this is how I was planning on doing it. Make sure we get to the sides the way I wanted it. Because it is cloth, it'll kind of expand and compress. I'm not going to be moving the camera around much, as you can tell, so I'll just try to move the skid plate. And at some particular point, you're going to end up with an overlap. I'm going to fold this in over here. So I'm kind of rubbing it in there to kind of push the epoxy down through the glass or the carbon fiber. You know, and I probably should have just taped the thing on first to hold it into position as this stuff starts its cure. Any mistakes we make on the first pass, we can probably recover and build it up on the second pass. So you can stretch this stuff and but just keep rubbing it in until you get to the until it actually starts hardening up. And it'll conform to the shape actually fairly nicely. Even to the, see the little indentions up here? This is actually a piece of Kevlar shock cord used on rocketry that we connect a parachute to, and being Kevlar, it doesn't burn up. So what I'm doing is right around the bolt hole, I'm trying to pull that in. So one thing I forgot to mention is that heat will accelerate the curing time. So I got this little space heater here, and I'm going to apply heat directly to it, and that'll help shorten the time we have to wait for everything to happen. So make sure the room you're in, like in my garage, it's pretty cool out because it's winter, but that should help. Okay, it's such a beautiful day. I decided I'd open up the garage door. And we're going to put our why burn electricity when God can heat this up with the sun? Being black, it ought to work out really well. This one is starting to get firm, and this is softer. Let it bake that way. About done cooking. What do you think, Deacon? Alright, so we've got the first step. You can see it's all kind of started here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take my X-Acto knife . Kind of figuring out how to approach this. You know, because we got a few voids where it didn't quite stick, and so I could probably use a 5-minute epoxy and hold it in there, and clamp it. And then I go back to doing the regular epoxy on that, and then we'll have captured its shape. Let's see what we got here. It's kind of fun. Hope you're enjoying it. this hole. Got a little loose ends here. Not very pleased with that. But let's go see what it looks like on the bike. Alright, so I've got, looks like I had a little bit of epoxy on the bushing. And of course, the easier, the sooner you get to this, while it's still mushy, the easier it is that the epoxy is going to come off. Okay. See that there? The original shape was okay. So far, so good. Okay, let's go over here. Excuse me, Deacon. Take a peek and see if we're where we should be. Nope. There we go. Now we all in there, guys. And then okay, so now it looks like we got a guard. The shift lever is out of the way. We got carbon fiber all the way down. We got some voids to take care of. I think I'll do that with 5-minute epoxy. Alright. Looks good. We got the basic shape that we're looking for. It's going on. The holes are lined up. I like it. Alright, what you see here is a bunch of little clamps because on our first pass, along the edges, I didn't quite have the carbon fiber adhering to exactly where it was supposed to go. You'll see those little, it's kind of flexible here. And so what I've done, I've taken some 5-minute epoxy, which is this stuff, and I've got it in front of the heater so it gets a little bit more liquid. Anyway, you can get that at a place like Hobby Lobby. It's a 1-to-1 relationship. For every, you know, I like to just draw a line on a piece of on a piece of paper, say 1 inch long, make another one 1 inch long, and then it's 1-to-1. And then I've clamped it so that it's conforming to the guides that I created out of cardboard. And then where it didn't stick up on the plastic on the sides, then I've got these big paper clips squeezing it down there. And so because it only takes 5 minutes, I can get the first layer of carbon fiber to be where I was hoping it would be, but it wasn't sticking because I guess I didn't have enough resin up close to the edge. And so with that in place and doing that, then that's one way to go back and correct your errors while you're building up the next layer. So now we're at this point where I'm going to now cover the bash plate with a second layer of carbon fiber. And again, I'll use the West System epoxy. In both cases, I'm going to go put those in front of the heater. It's a little cool out right now, but so with the resin in front of the heater and heating up the space for me, while that's all happening, I'll sit there and drink some good scotch or bourbon, whatever you prefer, and wait for this to occur, to cure up, and then we'll mix up and cut up some more of the fabric and go from there.